Workplace stress and the buffering role of resilience. 1. Introduction. Workplace stress is becoming an increasingly important concern for organizations. It affects employees' mental health, job satisfaction, and overall productivity. In the midst of these challenges, resilience has emerged as a potential protective factor, helping to buffer the negative impacts of stress. In this segment, we'll explore how resilience plays a crucial role in managing workplace stress, diving into what the research says and considering its broader implications for organizations and employees. Stick with us, as we'll unpack what this means for your work life. 2. Linking findings to theories and previous research. Stress theories and workplace context. When we talk about stress, it often comes down to an imbalance between what we're expected to handle and the resources we have to cope with it. This idea is part of Lazarus and Folkman's 1984 transactional model of stress and coping. In simpler terms, stress happens when the pressure feels greater than the resources we have to deal with it. Here's where resilience steps in. It can help employees see challenges not as threats, but as manageable tasks. The conservation of resources, COR, theory, Hopful, 1989, also ties into this, suggesting that stress arises when we feel our valued resources are under threat. In this sense, resilience itself acts as a resource, helping employees protect their mental and emotional well-being in the face of stress. Research consistently supports this, showing that resilience enhances the way employees cope with stress, making their stress experience less harmful. What do you think about resilience as a tool for handling stress at work? Let's dig deeper into how it really works in practice. 3. Interpretation of key findings. Resilience as a buffer against psychological distress. Studies have found that employees with higher resilience levels tend to experience lower psychological distress, even in high-stress environments. Robertson et al., 2015. Hartman et al., 2020. Resilient individuals are better at using adaptive coping strategies, like reframing negative experiences, maintaining optimism, and seeking support from others. Resilience doesn't make stress disappear, but it changes how we handle it, allowing people to maintain well-being and performance. Now, isn't it amazing that resilience can help us bounce back even when things get tough? Let's look at how it can improve job performance. Resilience and job performance. Further studies show that resilience isn't just a buffer for stress. It also helps boost job performance. Employees with higher resilience report lower emotional exhaustion and higher levels of job engagement, task performance, and positive behaviors like collaboration and organizational commitment. King et al., 2016. So, resilience is not just about surviving stress, but thriving in your job. How would your work change if you could tap into more of your resilience? Let's explore what organizations can do with this knowledge. 4. Implications of the findings. Organizational practices. With growing evidence supporting the importance of resilience, it's clear that organizations should focus on more than just reducing stressors. They should actively promote resilience by offering training programs, fostering a supportive work culture, and designing flexible, empowering work environments. The benefits of resilience building go beyond preventing burnout. They also encourage positive outcomes like innovation and collaboration. What's your workplace like? Do you think these resilience-building practices could help your team? Let's take a closer look at how leaders can play a role. Policy and leadership. Leaders have a critical role in modeling resilience and creating safe, supportive environments for employees. Leadership development programs should focus on emotional intelligence, stress management, and adaptive leadership styles to help leaders pass on resilience to their teams. Think about the leaders you've worked with. How did their behaviors impact your stress levels and resilience? Let's move on to the factors that can affect these results. 5. Factors influencing results. Supporting factors. Several factors can enhance resilience. Social support, for example, both at work and outside of it, helps build stronger resilience by buffering stress. A positive organizational culture that emphasizes trust and recognition also fosters resilience, as do personal beliefs like having a growth mindset or an internal sense of control. Hindering factors. However, not all factors are supportive. Chronic stressors, like a heavy workload or unclear roles, can wear down even the most resilient employees. Poor leadership, especially if it's unsupportive, can also negate resilience, making stress harder to manage. And personal issues, such as family or health problems, can interact with work stress and impact an employee's ability to be resilient. Which of these factors resonate with your own experience? Let's take a critical look at some of the challenges researchers have faced in studying resilience. 6. Critical evaluation and limitations. Sample and contextual bias. Many studies on resilience and workplace stress focus on specific industries, such as healthcare or corporate settings, which limits how applicable the findings are to other fields. These studies often don't take into account cultural differences, which can further restrict the generalizability of the results. Measurement limitations. Another limitation is the way resilience is measured. Most studies use self-reported scales, which can be biased. Also, because resilience fluctuates over time, many studies don't capture how it changes in response to different work situations. Complexity of interactions. Stress, resilience, and workplace outcomes don't exist in isolation. They are influenced by personality, coping strategies, organizational culture, and even societal norms. So, it's important to consider all these factors to understand the full picture. Does this complexity surprise you? Let's move on to how future research can address these challenges. 7. Recommendations for future research. To truly understand resilience, future studies should track it over time with longitudinal research, comparing how resilience develops in different work environments. They should also consider cross-cultural and cross-industry differences to improve the applicability of their findings. Combining quantitative data with qualitative insights could also offer a richer, more complete view of how resilience is experienced. And wouldn't it be fascinating if we could explore resilience through neuroscience to see how our brains react under stress? What kind of research would you find most useful? Let's wrap things up with some final thoughts. 8. Conclusion. The research shows that resilience is a critical factor in managing workplace stress. While resilience doesn't stop stress from happening, it changes how we respond to it, helping employees stay healthy, effective, and engaged. Resilience building should be seen as an essential strategy, not a luxury. By investing in resilience today, organizations can protect their employees' mental health and set the stage for success and adaptability in the future. What's your take on building resilience at work? Let's keep this conversation going and explore how we can all build more resilience in our daily lives.